Cool. So we're going to be working on getting different highlight colors for our notes. We're working on the Better Note Taking app. I'll leave a link in the description of whatever platform this is going to. Feel free to contribute to this project. It's just a application where you can basically highlight some text and add as many notes to those highlights as you want. So I think the branches are completely off right now with all the issues and stuff, but that's okay. This is just something I'm personally working on, and it will only become more important when other people start contributing, if other people start contributing, and that's okay either way. So the issue now is how do we know if it's a new note? Um, there we go. That works. Stay. Okay, there we go. So we have this event handler here on highlight color change, and so that's going to be hooked up to whatever selector that we have. So it's gonna, when you change the color, it's gonna fire that event. And so we're gonna have to have some sort of handler here, const on, well, should probably figure out what we're using first. So I'm gonna go look up some libraries. NUI, we're gonna see if there's anything for this. Color selector component. I feel like there wasn't when I looked last time. Yeah, they just have like the theming and everything like that. So let's look up React color picker. I know actually the input has a type color, this guy, and so they probably have this. Yeah, we can do that. Trying to remember, I think I've tried to use this before and it was a pain in the butt to try and style this, but that was a while ago, so it might be easier than it was back then. But we're gonna look this up either way. React color picker component. Okay, we're looking for something that has several thousand stars on it and is actually maintained. Like this guy is not maintained. Has all the stars though, and then we're just gonna try to narrow this down to recent stuff. Add a color picker in React. Is this gonna use a component? That's just an image. Okay, so React color palette helps developers to easily incorporate that stuff. Other component. Is that what it was called? Let's go back. Color palette. Oops. There you go. Through npm has not a lot. That sucks. So nope. I guess we can probably try that. Yeah, I mean, why not? I'm trying to think how I'm gonna integrate it with the controller, which is using reactive form, but let's just try and get into it quickly. So this is the circle that we have right now, and it's just a circle with the background color set to whatever color is selected. I think it's gonna have to be an input, unfortunately. I think the input should have an on change, so we just go input, okay, and then since this isn't like text, I don't even think for text you need it, but we can go on change here. Yep, there it is. Okay, and then we're gonna take our handler that we have from up here, which need to have const on color picker change, okay, equals, and then this is actually going to come from the form, okay. Now the control, where are we going to have the control? Because we want this to be pretty much just a UI component, but what does that mean? Does it mean we expedite all the controlling of the data, even just for like state to the parent, or do we actually put it on here? Well, we can put the use form on this guy and then just control it in here locally. And then that's going to be difficult because we also have to track it through the database pretty much. And so if somebody's already picked a color, we want to use that color. And that's going to be coming from the parent. So I think that's what we do. We just expedite it to the parent guy. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the parent. So wherever note pop-up is getting called, I am not in the actual file. Looks like there's some new stuff. Add file comment, kind of cool. What is this one? Mark file as viewed. Okay, whatever. So let's look up this guy. Okay. No pop-up in the text context. Okay, so this is the context where everything is happening. So what do we want to do? Here's our highlight color, and that's going to be get word highlight color. We go to the guy. If the word is selected, and then what do? We pass in the index of whatever word we're talking about there. But this is the wrong thing, right? Yeah, because new note pop-up is not the word. New note pop-up. Really? Oh, I called it something else. That's why. There it is. So highlight color on new note highlight color change. That's the handler on this guy. And then the note highlight color that's getting passed in is the new note, which we're tracking in a state variable, should be. Okay, so if there's a new note, right, you're going to have that pop up. They're going to input whatever they want first, whether that's the color or the text. It's going to go in here, and then it's going to get set to that, and we pass in the color down to our pop-up guy. Okay, and if it's not, then we just take the new note highlight color, which is going to be the default that guy. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it. I think this is basically that control that we're gonna have, but we want to use state for that. So let's make sure that our guy react to form that's in there, and then we want to have our actual form that tracks stuff. Yeah, so we can at least start with that. So let's create a new text field schema. Where's that being used? On our callback. Okay, fine. And then let's create a type for our new form that we're creating. Type, and then this is going to be note pop-up form equals an object, and then we're just going to say color, note color. It's going to be a string. Okay, and we're going to say const equals use form coming from React took form, pass in the type pop-up form. Okay, cool. Pass in our options. Yeah, I don't know. Zod is not very necessary for this color right now, so we're not going to worry about it. Default values, we're going to give the note color empty string. Is that the best way? No. Basically, this guy, note color, is going to take the place of this guy, okay, which default is set to that guy. So that's what we do. All right. So let's get rid of this guy. Cool. That might throw some errors. Okay. Okay, never mind. Yep, there it is. Just took a while. All right, now I forget exactly how you get the value of this. I think it's like use values or something. We're gonna go with register the first. Is that how I do it? That is tricky. We could have two separate props. I don't really like that. All right, we kind of got to think about this a little bit. So first of all, I think I should try and see if it's just the color stuff right now. There's the validate a no color on our route. So it's gonna, instead of being just a static string, it's gonna be whatever we pass to the API route. That's that one. This guy is just saying no color gets that guy for validation. And then on our text context, we have our create client. So I think I was just using this so I didn't have to create an API route. Not the best, but whatever. Then we have reactive form, default color, the form thing, and then we have types for the new note. There's our client. Let's go down. We have this guy. We have, what is this in? This is in create a new note. Okay, so then we take the note color and we pass it. And then down here, let's see, if response is created, then we return with the new note, not just the ID. All right, and then this guy is not defined. On the new text field submit, we're going to create the new note, and then we're going to set the new note state guy to that guy. And then down here on new note highlight color change, we're going to create a new note, all right, get the ID from it if the note ID was defined. So that's where the difference between a brand new note and an existing note is. And then what are we doing? We're going to update the note in the database to reflect the new color. Okay, so we're taking our new color and then just updating the database on the client side. There's no validation. That's the whole reason why we were doing API routes, but I was getting lazy and that'll have to come later. We're just going to try to get it to work for now. And then we have that guy, just an ID, and then we have the color stuff. And then down here, pop up, we have color stuff, input, yeah, so it's just color stuff. What was I gonna do? I was gonna think about it a little bit and get it renamed at the very least. There might be conflicts in how this works, but yeah, we're gonna stash it for now. Okay, so there's that guy. This guy's probably just junk. Let's see. This is removing that stuff, highlight details, and then that guy, and then importing all that stuff, and then doing that. And this was probably from way back. Let's see, last week, which is way back for this project. All right, text context, start, and then we're going to do get highlights, and then I try not to think about it too much. Highlight details, index piece. Okay, we're just gonna drop it because I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's super important. All right, so now we have that guy stashed, and we're going to change the name so it's a little more clear. Dang it. Okay, so I forgot to save that guy, which is fine. I just pop that stash, close all the stuff, and then restash it. Okay, there we go. Now let's go to our new node pop-up, and then we're going to rename this to, so control F2, or not control, function F2. Oh, it's already renamed. What? What? Did I already do it? Okay, so that's a node pop-up, right? So let's pop this stuff. Okay, good. That was idiotic, but whatever. Okay, so this is gonna be type equals color, like that, and then I'm gonna say on color select change, missing the const, equals a function, and then we're going to, I'm not sure what this would be, if it would be the color or what. We can probably just see right here. Change event HTML input element. Okay, it's probably on target value if I had to guess. All right, so let's give this the type, right, like that. We're gonna need this guy from there, and then we get E, right? Is that correct? Let's look on change. I cannot tell. On change equals, yeah, there's our event, HTML input element. Okay, so we're just gonna say on color select change, cool. And then what we're going to say is const new color selected equals e dot target dot value. Okay. And that should just be a string, I think. Yes. Cool. And then we can console that. New color selected. Okay, no issues there, and it should be working. That guy is ready to roll. Let's bring it up. Dev. Okay. Get rid of that. Okay, so we have a pop-up, and then it goes to the text context. Okay, that was weird. Text context, and then basically we're passing in this guy, and so we want to call that whenever the thing changes, which is right here. So at the end we'll do that. And what do we pass on highlight? Is it not a prop? There's that, and then it's not on here. Okay, like that, and call it. Takes the color and the note ID. The note ID is, I believe, a prop. Yep. So we're gonna have to make this a callback. Use callback so that it can track when the thing changes. Okay, so here's our dependency array with the note ID, which can be number or undefined. That's fine. So then we pass in our new color selected and our note ID. That's good. Let's try to fix this stuff. Note color is supposed to be just a string. So if we have a new note, so this is basically when the user opens the new note pop-up and then does some action like setting the color or creating a text field. That's going to go to the database and create the new note in the database. Okay, and then in the client, it sets that in the state. So now we have that variable, and it changes the prop of this guy to actually be that color. And then I guess it's just screaming at me because that guy's not defined anymore. It's part of the form. On color change, it's going to pass that up, and then I could set the value manually there. And then just how do I pass it? Is it just getting the value? That might be the easiest way to do this, honestly. Okay, so let's go up to this stuff and grab the values. So this is going to be, oh yeah, you like that title? That's amazing. All right, so React hook form. Okay, here it is. And then we're going to go to the API, use form, and then get values and optimize helper for reading form values. Difference between, but we have to register it. That's the thing. We have to pass the register practically. Okay, so, or do we pass the control, but it's a regular input, right? So we don't need the control necessarily. Register is one of those guys, I guess. Let me copy this. Okay. That changes, and then we handle that there, but we have to register it. That's tricky. All right, this mic is in the way. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me. We're gonna go to Google and do some research. So yeah, form how to pass register to child component. Hopefully this will give us some clues if that's actually a good thing to do. I'm trying to register, use the register in the child, but I'm getting TypeScript saying that. Okay, so form values that, use form that, and then we have field set, child, register. Okay. Child component, props register that guy. In parents, your code is trying to call register. function and pass the return value as props rather than passing the function. What is the best way to pass it through correctly? By calling register, you're not passing. Okay, yeah. You've updated the following. You have to update the following to this register. You shouldn't call that. And let's see. You can also pass props form properties to nested components with use form context and form provider. You need to get form methods with that guy in parent. Rapid content. Okay, so that's actually good. Let's go look at this. So form provider, use form context. I've never used this, so it's interesting. Custom hook allows you to access the form context. Use form context is intended to be used in a deeply nested structure where it would be convenient to pass the context as a prop. This hook, so use form context versus form provider. This hook will return all the use form return methods and props. Okay, that's cool. You need to wrap your form with a form provider. So that's another thing. I don't know if I need the form on that guy, but we can just put it anyways, just for now. Yeah, a lot of this is going to be just forms, pop over, then we have a box. I guess we can go with right here for now and see how it goes. Okay, there's that. Then we got to go down. There's that guy. And then we just go down way down here and say something like that. Maybe. Yes. Maybe. No. No. Right here. Sweet. Cool. So now I'm going to not have any submit yet. We'll figure that out later. But I'm going to figure out how to use this. So you need to wrap your form with form provider. Okay, there's the form, and then here's our form provider. Here's our use form methods, and then nested, we're going to use form context. Okay, that makes sense. Let me do that. So let's go to our parent. Let's go down to our pop-up right here and do form provider from that guy, and then pass the methods, which is just going to be coming from there. Okay, so let's go up to use form, get rid of this, just say note pop-up form methods. Okay, and then go down and pass that into here, destructuring it, 3 dots, not 2. Form provider, children is missing. Okay, children. There we go. Wrap this around the pop-up like that. There you go. Now we go in here and we go to our logic and we say, I'm going to put this at the top. Const fields equals use form context from that guy. I wonder if you can get a type like this. T field values extends that. Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I'm not super sure how to do it here with this syntax, but we'll try. Yeah, form pop-up form schema, I guess. Okay, let's look this up. Arrow function generic TypeScript. Okay, look at this identity that, yeah, that's what we want. Const foo equals that. Simply do that. Full explanation. We're using that, will not do that. Workaround use extends that. Interesting. Yeah, I kind of don't want to do that. I'm just going to do this the easier way and say function, all this stuff, and then instead of that, we just do that. Okay, easy. Now, what is wrong here? Okay, cool. Then we're going to say note pop-up form schema type. Pass this into this guy, and then we're going to say, let's see, does not satisfy field values. So we have to say leave extends field values from that guy. Sweet. And then we can go to our guy and say whatever this was. No pop-up form. Okay, sweet. That. Cool. That should work. Give it a second. Sweet. Now, this isn't there, right? Let me define this on a different file. Okay, schemas gen notes. That's a good place for it. Let's go ahead and add this to Zod. No, let's not, because yeah, let's do it. Because it needs to be a string anyway. We can use validation on that. So let's say, first of all, extends. Yeah, no, it's not going to be that one. We have to infer for that. So it's going to be string. No, stop it. It's going to be z.object first. Okay, then we do that. Then we wrap it. Then we say string. Okay, like that. And that's all. Okay, that's all we're going to do for now. And this is going to be const this guy. Okay. And then what we're going to do is this is going to be the schema. Okay. And then we're going to do const type equals z.infer. Yeah, exactly how this works. Z.infer type of whatever we have for our schema. Okay, so we have to Z is that guy. It should be there. Note pop up form schema like that. Is that right? I think I just totally forgot. Type of that. No calling. Okay. Type of like that. What is wrong? Does not exist. Type of. Confusing. Let's go here. Oh, it's because it needs to be a type. Duh. Not really duh, but whatever. There's that. Okay, now that's a type and it has the string. Sweet. Now I can use that on our guy after I export it. Okay, so let me make some more space here so I can see what I'm doing. Now, that guy is going to extend. Maybe. The parent tracks it. This guy kind of just gets it. Okay, fine. There you go. Now, we need to go to what? Does that really work? Really? Okay, that's interesting. I guess it does because it's an object or something, but here, let's see. That's not defined because it's not there. So we just gotta import that guy there. And since it's Zod, is that right? Yeah. We're gonna do a resolver. Resolver. Zod resolver from that guy. Okay. And I think that should be fine. Let's find it. Nope, we gotta pass the schema, which is that guy. So let's export that guy too. Which is right here. Alright, sweet. Now we have that. I'm gonna rename that to be lowercase just to be consistent. And then I'm going to import that guy into our text context so that we can do this. Okay. Note schema. There it is. Okay, that should take care of that. Let's check if there's anything else on all that stuff. Use note, form stuff. Maybe. I don't think that's being used. Yeah, all this stuff too, maybe. It's more for text fields. That's what that is. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Now we're getting past all of this stuff, so we have access to our register now, right? I think register does not exist on type that because it's not called. There we go. Sweet. Now, if I go to my input, which is down here, I should be able. Where is this thing? There it is. Okay. Should just be able to say, yeah. Let's get rid of this guy. Don't need it because we're gonna do that with the register. Syntax is register. Okay, then you pass the name, which should have had that. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. That might just be a thing with the form context. It doesn't give you all that stuff, which is fine. We can just go ahead and shortcut it here by going to this guy. Yeah, a little confusing with all the types between the components and everything, but we're just gonna grab that and say undo, redo, paste it, and then I think that's how that works. Required is true. Let's see. Argument of type that is not assignable to parameter of that. Okay, let's see. React hook form, use form context, generic TypeScript. Okay. Example with TypeScript nested. Okay. Here's our interface. Extends that guy. Extends that stuff. Then we have what are they going for here? Alright, here's this. That's more to the point. Use form, form data. There's our methods. Form provider, pass the methods. Nested input, use form context, form data. Okay, and then we do that. It's a bit confusing. I guess I could do that where we just don't pass the generic, right? That might be simpler for now. And instead, we just grab this guy, okay? And then get rid of this. And this guy doesn't exist. Replace it with the type, okay? There's that. Now that gets rid of that. So when we go to say register something, it actually brings up that. So a little confusing with the types. So now our state should be tracking that up here. So when that changes, we don't even have to have like this whole, we don't have to have this guy right here. We can just track it on the actual thing. Okay, but the question is, how do we do that? I know it's a little tricky on the on React hook form because you have to use like use effects, but it's not too bad. Okay, get rid of that stuff. And so we're gonna go look up React hook form track changes. Okay, I think there's even like a video on this. Yeah, watch. I think you're not supposed to use it in there. Yeah, he should have a video, so let's watch it.
Welcome back to another video tutorial. In this video tutorial, we're going to take a closer look into what our array syntax is like when return an array is ordered. It's like a function. Good way to actually provide everything before.
Use effect confusion. Let's see if he gets there.
If I type 1 and subscribing to them.
Okay, here's kind of what I was thinking about. React use effect subscription, then we watch it, and then we have to unsubscribe. So let's see.
Let's see what's happening. So what's happening is, see, the re-render doesn't change at all. but everything still gets sent back to this callback. So it's really useful way of knowing what's happening on the phone and subscribing to them.
Okay.
So that's another way of actually improve your, application performance. If re-render at the root is going to be a little bit heavy, so you have to do like memorization, etc. So it will allow you to precisely remember whatever you want to remember. Right, that's got a little bit sidetracked. The other syntax is actually calling that at use event. And what this is going to do is it's going to be very useful if you want to actually subscribe to the whole application and without wanting any re-render help. And I found this really useful. Is, say for example, if you want to.
I mean, I don't think we have to re-render. I don't know. I think this is the way to go. Okay, so we're basically going to do methods.watch on our text context, and whenever the thing changes, we're going to handle it. Okay, I think we have our handler already, which is right here. No, not there. Yeah, I'm trying to think, how do we get the default color too? Create new note. New note. The color is going to be set on the form, and then we could use like get value maybe in there. Okay, maybe. Let's go find the handler though for the color change, which is here. I'm going to change this to handle note pop-up color change. Okay. So now we're just going to create a use effect with our callback and our dependencies as the, what did I call it? No pop-up for methods, and then .watch, okay? And then we're going to create our subscription sub equals this guy, and then what's the syntax for this?
Actually tracking the entire application, the user behavior. So you don't really care about things when they're on the screen, and you only want to subscribe to Exchange. And we're doing subscription watch, and this is going to be instead. And what that's is returning the data. Actually subscribe to that and go back to it. Make sure that we also want to unsubscribe that when the component gets in there.
Okay, watch. Take the data. Don't need that. Okay, and then we console it and do whatever we want. And then we have to unsubscribe at the end. Okay, like this. We just say sub unsubscribe. Cool. So now up here we need to check if the color changed. I'm not sure if we can narrow this down. How do we narrow it down? Okay, let's find out. Back to form, track, when, field changes. Okay. We could do the handler. We could. I don't really like that because then there's like two different routes being called when the thing changes. Okay, React check form, no when it changes. Okay, we have that, and then nope, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I mean, typically you have the submit, and then they click a submit button and it goes, but we don't want to do that. I guess I could console this and see if it's already narrowed down. That might help. Okay, I do need to make sure that's selectable right now. So let's fix these errors. Okay, I'm just gonna say hashtag FFF, which is white, and then we're gonna paste that wherever this guy is. Don't need that guy. Okay, and then down here, no pop-up form is nowhere because we don't have the generic. Okay, get rid of it. That should fix everything. I think. Nope. Okay, there's that. And then this guy we don't have anymore. So there we go. Cool. Now if we go here, we go to one of our pages. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Now we go highlight some stuff. Press N to bring up the thing. That styling is awful, but we can actually change it. Okay, so let's get out of that. Go here to our console. Whoops. And go back here, N, and then we go here, change it. Okay, it changed with the fields that changed. So that's cool. The tricky thing with that is it just because we only have the one field on there? Let's try to add another one. So let's go schema notes. Let's go test. It's going to be Z string like that. And then we can go to our where the form is. Okay. And add a default, which is going to be test. Yes. Now we can go ahead and try this again. Okay, that's promising. Let's reload just to be sure. All right, let's highlight N and then change it. Yeah, that's why you reload. So it's passing everything. That's super unfortunate. Okay, let me consult with ChatGPT on this guy. Bookmarks, chat guy, and then we're gonna go put that there. With React hook form, how can I check if a how can I track when one of the form properties changes? Okay. It's saying watch and then watch. That's not how you use watch, so it's just wrong. Okay, that's not gonna work out too good. React hook form, how to run callback when specific field is changed. We'll do a little research on this, and if we can't get it, then we're just gonna do the custom thing, the custom callback, support callback for changing another field using that. Record forms, and then I don't know, let's just skip to the answers. It's a huge question. Handle title change. Okay. Title change, set value, da da da. Okay. Watch field values. This was 10 months ago, so maybe it's newer. Ads, bro.
In this video, let's see how
Oh,
to
hey.
observe
This
field
is Code
values
Evolution.
we use in the component. React hook form provides a watch method with which we can observe one or more form field values. From the form object,
I know. You have to pass in the thing. I think. Okay, let's go to watch and see names. Yes, good. And then we have the callback. Okay, I'm an idiot because I forgot about that. Let's go to wherever we have our watch right there, and then instead of just that, we're just gonna say note color. So now it only tracks that. Perfect. Now I can get rid of our extra thing that we had. This guy. Okay, save. Go here. Fix it. Is that right? Watch input name, and then we're gonna do watch test, right? Maybe I am doing this wrong. Or data options. Shoot. Let's bring that video back up.
In this video, let's see how to observe field values we use in the component. React hook form provides a watch method with which we can observe one or more form field values.
Okay.
From the form object, we destructure watch. This is a method we can call. We can pass in a field name as argument and store the result in a constant.
Cool. Let's just see the use effect.
So instead of the string arg, let's change this. He renders.
We don't
On
want
the other hand, if you want to perform a side effect after watching a background, call watch and pass in, which we can log to the console.
value. Okay, fine. But how do you filter it? Are you gonna
Does
show
not-
me,
but again,
or are
you
you
check
just
if you want to
gonna
against the form field
skip
values
that?
and carry out a side effect.
Not helpful, but still. How do I do this? Watch. Flip this a little bit. Okay, we have data, name, type. Da, 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 da. I guess we can try to pass both, right? You can go to watch here and say, instead of this, right? Get rid of that. And then data, we're going to take our extra stuff and say name and our event type. Yes. Yeah. Type. Okay, so then we're going to just console it all by saying name and type. Cool. Let's go to this guy, reload. Okay, now we go new and select our thing. Note color, which is the name. And then we say change. I unfortunately need to add that guy back, which is fine. We just have to do this again. Okay, this is going to be test and string. Cool. Go back, reload. All right, and then we're going to highlight new note and change. Okay, we have this, and then we have note color and change, so that's how we filter it. Okay, I think. But we're going to go with it. Okay, so we undo all this stuff. Yes. And then get rid of that. Okay, cool. Now, down on our handler, we can go ahead and call that based on this. So if name equals, yes, nice, good IntelliSense. So if it's that guy and the type of event equals change, right? Let's see, change. What's the other ones? We have change text, value change. Let's see what it was. It was just change, so that's fine. Nice and simple. Then we're going to call our handle note pop-up color change. Yeah. Okay, now we have to pass in the value, which is coming from data, I believe, dot note color. Yeah, that just passes the whole thing. How do we get the note ID? That's tricky. That's very tricky. We could just pass it from here, right? And say new note. That's where the custom handler would be better. But new note.id or undefined. I guess we could pass that. It's kind of duplicate code. That might introduce a bug. We're gonna have an issue like a year from now where it's like, this is the cause. So hopefully not, but probably. String or undefined. So string or undefined is not assignable to that guy because, shoot, why is that note color string or undefined? Like what? That's unfortunate. If data, that guy, I guess we can just say data dot note color and the other stuff. Now it has to be defined, right? So that might be another bug. So many bugs, dude. Let's see. Let's go here, right? And then let's go ahead and fix this. So no errors. This is going to actually get called now when that changes. It's going to say if the note ID is defined, right? If the note ID is there and the new note is already defined, then we're going to say this is the note ID that we want to change the color for. If not, then we have to await creating a new note and getting the ID. Hopefully creating the new note throws errors. Yeah, I mean it should. We can go check. So it tries to do all this stuff and then it throws an error if it failed to create. That's good. So then from our color handler, it's gonna throw that and not just continue and try to do bad stuff. So then from our notes, we're going to update the hex color where the ID is equal to that guy. And then we're going to try to get the result. And then we're going to say if it's 200, which it might not actually be 200, I'm just kind of guessing. And the data is there, updated note is that, and then we're going to just set it. Okay, we're getting the first row. It should just be one. A bunch of like little things that aren't super well defined, but we're getting it to work. Okay, so let's see if this actually changes. So we're going to go here. And then it already changed, right? It's changing more. And then I can actually just console it. So let's say updated note equals that console.log note updated, and then pass in the updated note like that. Okay, now let's try. Not getting called. That's not good. Let's go ahead and console.log the result like this. So at least we can see if it's the database is being called, right? The database is not being called. Fun. Let me reload and try this again. All right, new note. Take this, do that. Okay, it's actually getting called, but it's saying it's a 400. Let's see what we're getting back. Data, errors, invalid data. I think this is from, let's see where the request thing is. Okay, let's just go to our network tab. This is easier. And then get rid of this guy. Here's our failed request. Here is the request, notes new. It has the document ID passed to it, and then the payload is what? New note has no ranges. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think that's our problem right there. Because it should, if it's passing an object in the ranges array, it has to have data. And it doesn't. So we have to go create new note and fix that. And we're getting the ranges right here. Okay, selected ranges, return this guy, range 0. What if the range, where's the range coming from? Where is the range coming from? Like, it's not coming from the parameters. Okay. Oh, it's just coming from the map. Get selected word ranges.map range. So is this returning something? I think it might be. Get selected word ranges. No, we're not going to go down there. We're going to just try to, yeah, find this. This is called what? New text field. Let's go here and just find it here. Create new note. Okay. Now we're going to take those ranges and just put them out there. Okay. Console.log ranges. That, and then we can go reload, bring our console up. So we're expecting this is returning an array with something in it, like an empty object or something. So let's go here. So ranges, it returns undefined, undefined. Okay. So that's where the problem is. Let's go get the word ranges and fix this guy. So at the very end, we're pushing this. I'm assuming that this is going to be undefined. So let's add a condition here. If both of those are defined, only then can we push it. So if that and this guy, okay, then we can do that. Yes, auto formatting for the win. Let's go to wherever we were, which is Control T, create note, Control T, new note. Okay. Here we go. That should fix it. We can go here and just reload and then make sure we don't get that undefined stuff again. Okay, ranges are empty now. That's good. Let's go to our network, see what's happening now. We have our payload, empty ranges. That's good. I think it's because I'm saying we need a min of, shoot. I need a min number of ranges to be one range, which makes sense because a highlight has to have at least one range. So we can't have it be empty. That bug is still a valid bug fix though that we just did. But why are we getting an empty set of ranges? Like what? Okay, let's go get rid of that. Find any more console logs that we have. Okay, don't need that anymore. The result is from there, and I can just use that. It's fine for now. Console log on color select change, not doing that. Good. So now we're gonna go up to ranges. Gonna be this guy. And the first thing I want to check is this guy. So let's say console log, because I am not sure if the debugger is going to work for this. A lot of times it doesn't. Let me go ahead and go to our console, go here and say boom. Okay. Let me reload. Not sure why it's not refreshing properly in the console. Or maybe it was just me, but let's do this. Okay, there's that. Is that from 201? It is. We have nothing selected. That's not good, because we do have something selected. That's very much not good. Okay, so currently it's coming from this guy. So let's go use effect. Right, and then let's go paste that and say console.log a copy of that guy, which needs to be in an array. Okay. So now let's try. See, that works. What about this? That is working. Like what? Okay, so that's not the problem. Get selected word ranges. That is nothing. I'm going to console this in here, make sure that it is actually getting updated. Okay, reload. Okay. New, when it changes, it needs to get that, and it says nothing. So that's the problem. That guy's not getting updated. It's getting wrapped in our use fallback, which is going down to here. Currently selected word indices. That's exactly what it is. Like, what? That is not good. I don't know what is happening. Currently selected word indices. That's the same. Yes, it is. Is this not getting updated? Let's find where this is getting called. Okay. From here. Now, is it getting called in the thing? Get selected word ranges. That's fine. Now, create new note. That's probably the problem. Whenever this guy gets called, we have to pass it in an array. Because create new row. That's not it. Create new note on text field. That's there. And then we go to color change. This is where it's not. That's the issue. Okay, cool. So that should fix it. Let's reload. Now that array should not be empty. Okay. Now, press this, press that. What? Okay, what about this guy? Where are we calling that from? Right here, use effect. We don't have that on there. Alright, so we gotta have this too. I bet you npm build would have warned me about this, but oh well. And then that's annoying. You have to change the order so that it's actually in the correct order. These were problems that like people from the 2010s were like, oh duh, it has to be in order. But now we're just like, really, this is annoying. It has to be in order. What? So let's do this. Do the new. Change that guy. Okay, finally. There we go. Still getting an error though, so that's unfortunate. Let's go look at our network. View this guy. Okay, here is our thing. Document 20. We have the color. That's a valid color. Our ranges have start index. Okay, that's a valid index. Let's see what our response is. Invalid data. Okay, so this is from our documents slug notes new. Okay, so go API new, which is going to be notes new on our document. Here it is, and then our parsing goes on this guy, which is this guy. We have this. I'm actually just going to console that. Okay, that's going to be easier. It's obviously a validation error. We're going to console the validation error dot internal error. Okay. Now let's try this again. Boom, that gets sent. We go here, string must contain at least 6 characters. That's because the color doesn't have 6 characters, and we were setting the shorthand form of white, which is, it's a valid color. But our current schema validator only allows like the full hex values, which is another bug, but it's okay for now. We just do that. Now it should be okay, hopefully. Click that, and it worked. Maybe. Yes, it did. 201 created. And then if we go to our console, we'll see our node was updated, undefined. Let's go look. Let's get rid of our console logs, except that one. Okie doke. Oops. Alright, there's that. Using the mouse is so fun. Go to result. We have the result too, which is 200. That's good. I got the status code right. And then the select just isn't working. So if we look, the note was updated, and then we're saying updated note equals result data 0. Okay, the data was not defined, even though I'm doing a select right here. That's odd. Let me look up. So that's how we're doing it when we're inserting, but update might be a little different. Let me look up Supabase JS SDK update and get back results. Okay, hopefully there's a stack or something. Update data. Fetch data. Undefined response from updating row, but did update. We had the 200, and then let's go here. Const data error equals await Supabase. Could you add that? That. Sometimes it's easier just to scroll to the bottom. Let's see, I didn't want to say, because it's a, okay, selling stay, I wrote something like this, await Supabase, instead of that, what? Await Supabase, data error, response data, maybe there's 2 different things. We did console the response, so we can at least see what it's giving us. Data is nothing. And the response is the result. Yeah. I mean, we're still left with the problem. How to update Supabase record. Okay, so we have increment wait from that guy, insert that, and then we have upsert. Ooh, what is upsert versus Supabase? Upsert data. Give it a second to get to the anchor. Okay, perform an upsert. Insert a row with the corresponding on conflict. No, we don't really want that, because basically it's saying, I think if it doesn't exist, then we're just going to insert a new row. We don't want that. Select. Let's find the update data that equals that guy. Maybe it returns it automatically. Options named. Response is going to give you that guy. Let's try to remove this guy from it and see what happens. Let me console the result. Console.log the result. That's fine. Let's go here. This guy. Boom. Okay. Status 204. What is 204? Status 204. Status 204, no content. Okay, yeah, that's what we expect, but we're not getting anything back. That's unfortunate. And I'm saying that word like 1,000 times. Let's figure this out. Supabase, how to update a row and get the result, the updated data. Update. Let's just see. You can update records based on ID. To update multiple, you can use that. No. The problem here is we're updating it in the database, but not in our client's local storage, which is stored in the new note thing, the state variable, which we should probably move, but maybe not. Okay, update data. Let's ask ChatGPT. With Supabase, I want to update a row in the database, and if 204, get the new data that was inserted or updated. Okay. ChatGPT is having issues today, but it's going. If you're using that, okay, don't get that from the response. Instead, you need to make an additional request. Really, like really. I mean, yeah, that was in my head that I could do that, but I don't want to do that. Now let's fetch the data. I think that's kind of dumb. Maybe, I mean, the RLS policies are kind of separated on those actions, so maybe that's why. But then it just wouldn't return the data. Yeah, that's weird. I kind of get where they're coming from on that. Let's make the new call, okay? We're gonna do const updated data, updated note data, result equals await Supabase dot. I think I might have a row for this, or a API route for this. So let's check. We have our app, our API, we have our documents, and our, what are we looking for? We're looking for notes. Document, notes, no ID, and no, we don't. Okay, so, oh well. We have the no ID, and so we're just gonna fetch it with this. Okay, Supabase.from, and then we're gonna say from our notes, we're going to select, and we're gonna select everything dot what filter on the ID equals the no ID that we have, which is going to be the note to change color ID. Okay, cool. We're awaiting it, and then we're going to do if error. Okay, so updated result dot error. Then we're gonna say to do failed to update or failed to fetch the updated result. I don't know how to handle that right now other than just throwing an alert, because we can think about rollbacks and all that. I don't know though for right now. Alert failed to fetch the updated result. Refresh page. I guess. Else, okay, else we're going to take the rest of this stuff. Yeah, this kind of has to happen first. If the result status 200, then we're gonna do this. We're gonna get the updated note, which is that, but we don't have that, so that's not getting called anyways. This should be 204, not 200. I got that wrong, turns out. Then we call that, and then we have it. And that's where we do this stuff. Okay, cool. Lots of if else's. Okay, so we just do this dot data sweet if updated note results dot data. All right, take this, pass it in here like that, save it, and should be good. Nope. Cannot find updated note. It's going to be this guy dot data. Okay. This could be an array, which means we have to grab the first thing, like I talked about earlier. There could be multiple things for whatever edge case that is. Now we're going to do this, change it. It's going to go and note updated. Here's our updated note. And let's see, hex BG, that's not good. It didn't actually update, so that's fun. But if I refresh, the note should actually like be stateful now. Okay, I guess not. Let's go here. I don't know why. Let's go new. And then let's say this guy. Note updated. Yeah, it's not actually updating like the note color. Let's make sure we're passing the right stuff. X color equals color. Okay, let's see. Console.log color there. Let's go here and say boom. It updates that, and then no updated. We fetch 63. It's not there. Okay, that's unfortunate. Why is that not actually getting updated? The document ID and the ID. And then if I go reload, why is it not showing those? Like that's another thing. Why is it not showing all these extra highlights I've been adding? Let's go to our text context, which is getting our document ID. It's getting our document notes, which is coming from our page, okay, right here, notes data, which is this guy, which is why it's not updating, because this isn't updating. Shoot. So this is the initial one. And then we kind of have to signal to this page and be like, yo, you need to like go get the updated notes. We could have a signal, honestly. Notes data is an array with that, and then we pass it in. but it has to also be, it's an array of a note and selective ranges. Okay, fine. Equals empty array, and then notes data is getting set here. Okay, this is our server component. So I don't really know how to tell a server component that, hey, you have to rerun this.